Wait, you're quitting sports cards? What's going on, sports card hobby family? It's another day. It's another sports card video. Man, it is pouring here in North Carolina. We're going to talk about why are people quitting sports cards? Kind of open conversation with the public, with the viewership. I think this is always good, kind of a little check-in, and it's something that I like to do on my channel to connect with the viewership. Oh, one thing too that YouTube had just announced, which I think is pretty cool. This is a new feature that's going to come on YouTube, and it's wrapped around communities. And maybe this is something they were doing like 10 years ago, but basically the way I understand this, and I think that's actually what they're going to call it, YouTube communities, but it's almost like kind of having a Discord wrapped into your YouTube channel, or like a Facebook group wrapped into your YouTube channel where, you know, viewership can post in this thing kind of on your YouTube, in your YouTube communities, and there's a lot more engagement. So I'm looking forward to that. I'll keep you posted as that continues to roll out. That's something that I think is coming in early 2025, maybe sooner, but we'll see. That was something that popped up in my feed, and I was like, that sounds pretty interesting, and a way for me to be able to connect with you all more directly. I think that's going to be fun. Huge thanks to our Tuesday Shoutouts Card Capsule. Guys, you want great supplies, but you don't want to pay a fortune for them. Cases, semi-rigids, all the good stuff, top loaders. There is a 10% coupon down below for you for your supplies. Like I always say in my video description, my pinned comments, there's a ton of different discounts there, hobby company discounts, like a Groupon or something, so definitely check it out. On that note, PSA, have you ever graded with them? If you have not, first-time submitter, $25 off with SCD25 promo code, $25 off, one card minimum. We rolled this partnership out about a month ago, and we've had a few dozen people take advantage of this. Again, it's one card minimum, $25 off, so you really get to try PSA, see how you like it, and you go from there. But yeah, that's down below. There's a link and a promo code that is there for you. Also, justcollect.com. You've got a collection to sell, but you don't know where to go. Leighton Sheldon and the justcollect.com team. It's right there on their website. Easy appraisal form. They'll get right back to you. Also, Leighton Sheldon is on the Just Collect YouTube channel, and he's talking about different collections that he's picked up, cool cards and that sort of thing. So definitely check out Just Collect on YouTube. All right. I have seen more people that have kind of come into the comment section and saying, you know what, I'm actually getting out. I'm selling half my collection, or I'm selling all my collection. I'm moving on. I've seen polls online too, on Twitter. One that was big was about new product. I think it was Sue's. Sue's on Twitter. I don't know what her Twitter handle is. She works at CGC, I believe. But she put out some sort of like a question to Twitter, like, is new product too expensive or something? Or is new product priced right or whatever? And there was endless comments, about new product being too expensive. And I do think that if you kind of look at what's being rolled out, new product wise, and some of the stuff that's wrapped around that, man, it's got to be tough. It's a very expensive hobby if we are looking at it from that standpoint. If you're looking at it from, we're buying a hobby box of whatever it is, if you're looking at the pricing compared to what it used to be 5 to 10 years ago, it's dramatically different. Even on the singles side, there's a lot of singles cards that have gone up quite a bit that are a lot more expensive than they were 5 or 10 years ago. And I think overall too, the struggle that I have, I'll talk personally to it, is there's so many cool things out there, and I collect a variety of different things. So it's sports cards, it's non-sports cards, graded comic books, there's action figures I think are cool, there's sports memorabilia stuff. I've got a signed copy of Drago Trunks from the Rocky movies. I just won on Pristine Auction. This was something that I have been trying to get to for a while. I've been bidding on these. They have a few that pop up, and it's the hoverboard from Back to the Future 2. It's not the hoverboard, but it's kind of a replica hoverboard from Back to the Future 2. And the one I was able to pick up is signed by Christopher Lloyd, Michael J. Fox. I think it's John Wilson is the dad's name, and then Leah Thompson plays the mom. But it's signed by all four of them. So that was a really cool piece. I had been bidding on the Michael J. Fox, Christopher Lloyd one, just the two signatures. And that one came up, and I was just lucky enough I was able to win that. But so, in other words, I've got a variety of different interests in the collectible space, always pulling at me at all times. And so trying to figure out, okay, how am I budgeting? Where am I budgeting? What stuff do I want to sell? which is nothing. So you have to kind of go through and figure out kind of, okay, what can I sell to get into this or that? And I've really kind of run out of stuff. I've sold a lot of cards over the last 12 months and consolidated up into other things. And I'm running really low. Now, if I'm moving stuff, it would be stuff that I really don't want to move to get into other things. And so this is where I think the challenge really comes. And for me personally, I've talked about it in the past, I've had issues, I've struggled with kind of just budgeting and making sure that I'm in good shape, when I'm making these types of moves. And also just the huge opportunity cost out there for other things. I'm a dad, I've got 4 kids, I've got a family. And so, I know there's a lot of other dads, moms that watch this channel. You can relate to the fact that $1 spent on cards or collectibles is $1 that can go towards, overpriced cereal now, or everything else, overpriced gasoline, all the stuff that has gone up, college accounts for the kids, health insurance, all the different things, all the things that you can put money towards, retirement accounts, or just other types of, traditional stuff, real estate investment or stocks, buy more stocks or whatever. Not only is it opportunity costs that you're looking at in the collectible space, but then it's also just real life opportunity costs. A vacation with your family or whatever, and if you don't have a family, maybe you're a single person, that vacation that you've always wanted to go to, maybe you want to go to Australia or whatever, and you've just never done it. Well, it costs money to go do all these things. The world is getting more expensive all the way around, is what it feels like. And so if you are not really, really loving this sort of stuff and really, really into it, that can just be tough. And I think the other part too is how much do you really need? When you look at kind of any individual person's collection, is it just like we're adding things to add things because that's what we do? And this is what I got into as well, where it's just become so routine to add to the collection that you don't really take time just to kind of pause and first off, enjoy what you have. Secondly, is this thing, am I just doing this as kind of more of like a routine thing? Like this has almost just gotten to be kind of an impulsive thing. Oh, every week I buy cards. Every month I buy cards. Or I buy comic books, or I buy whatever it is. And then it's just stopping and thinking like, wait a second, am I actually enjoying this? Or is this just kind of gotten into a habit? Has it just become a habit? And maybe it's a good habit for you. Maybe it's a bad habit. Let's talk about the good habit part. I know for a lot of people, and I can speak to this too, this is a release from me from real world stuff. So when I'm enjoying my collectible type stuff, and a lot of it's 80s, 90s pop culture stuff, which is all the rad, cool, all the awesome. But this is what makes me happy when the world around me, it seems like, is getting stranger and stranger every day. We all have responsibilities we've got to deal with. And so this is kind of that release point, being able to just get away from it all. So it is a good distraction. But I guess the question, and I think about this too myself, how much of these things, do I need more of these things to add to the distraction? Because I've got cool stuff. I've got Alf here. I can talk to Alf all day if I want to. And actually, I don't know if there's a mechanism on this thing. I think he actually talks. Maybe in a future video, we'll have to work on that. I think he might actually, there's like a Teddy Ruxpin type built-in thing there that maybe I'll bring out on the channel so he can talk to us. But I had someone leave a comment, I think it was yesterday or the day before, and it said, breakers will tell you that 5% of people participating break even. Wow, that's dreary. We already know that, hey, you're rolling the dice, it's like a fair game, when you're getting into a break or a Raz or a repack or whatever that thing is. And I know, look, there's a lot of fun. I don't want to take away from the fun. I know a lot of people are like, oh, the fun police, and I get that. But again, we're talking about in a world that's just getting more and more expensive. How many times can you throw $100 at a break spot and get $5 back, $5 back, $5 back? And then maybe you hit one where it's like, oh, I bought into this $100 break spot and I got $500 back. Again, like the lotto ticket type mentality. How many people are getting in and staying in? Is it sustainable to keep customers that way over a long period of time? Now, I think it is sustainable, and it's shown to be sustainable, especially for high-end gambling types that just have a lot of money to throw, and they're kind of like just having fun. That's how they spend their money. I think, Charles Barkley had said that over his career, of course, he's made a ton of money, playing basketball and commentating and all that stuff, endorsements and all that. I think he said that over time, he's lost something like $5 million gambling. $5 million. And I think he said he's won like $1 million or $2 million. I might have the numbers off, but my point is he's won a lot. God, if you've won $1 million or $2 gambling, that's a hell of a lot of money. But he had to spend, $5, $6 million or whatever those numbers are to win the $1 million. And now granted, maybe he had a blast doing it. Maybe it was worth it. Maybe losing that $5 million. And for him, it's all relative. Maybe, I don't know what his net worth is. Maybe he's got 50 million. So he's lost $5 million over 30 years. And he's like, yeah, but that was a lot of fun. I had a great time doing it. And so if you have those types of folks that just have the means to be able to just throw the money out there and they're just having a good time, it's kind of like the roulette table or whatever, blackjack, they're just having a good time doing it, then that's fine. I just wonder how many people, though, have the means to really be able to kind of throw that money away. And, it's like, you know what? I'm wealthy. I can take that hit and I'm having fun doing it. For some, they can do it. If we're talking about middle class, coming in, they might buy a $100 break spot one time, a couple of times, and then be like, yo, this sucks. Like, you just don't get any money back. And then they're out of here, and I'm not saying, look, the singles market can be treacherous too. You can go buy a card for $100 and a week later it's $40. So it's really, really just taking your time and getting to figure out kind of where your spot is in the collectible space. Where are you really finding enjoyment, and then really kind of contemplating that. I would assume a lot of people kind of run in excited, impulsive, without really taking the time of figuring out, like, what am I doing here? How am I going to enjoy this? What makes the most sense? And I have had viewers that have said in the comments, like, hey, I started out doing this or that. I kind of learned some things along the way. I love cards. I really enjoy collectibles. This is how I shifted, and now I'm having a great time. Those are the very interesting stories. So in the comment section, if you can let me know how that is, how that has happened for you, how that developed for you, where maybe you got in, didn't have a great experience, but were able to kind of evolve off of that. And now you're still having a great time. Maybe you're still spending the same amount of money, but you're just doing it differently. Or maybe you're spending less money. Hell, maybe you're spending even more money, but you're spending it on, different areas of the hobby that you really enjoy. Let me know. As I said, there are people, of course, that are getting out, that are quitting sports cards, but there's also a lot of people coming in. It's kind of a transient space. There's a lot of people, too, they get in, they go out, and then they come back. It's just kind of the way that it works. All right, my friends, stay healthy, stay awesome, and I will talk to you again later.